My thoughts are people are going to run into a lot of issues with intellectual property because what we're failing to realize is where AI is getting its information is already published information. So, how people are using it, I think they're going to run into a lot of trouble. We're already seeing a pretty downhill trend in the book world when it came to that. You have platforms like Ingram Spark or Amazon KDP that are doing a lot different type of crawling. So there's a lot of books that are more and more being rejected because of plagiarism.
Yeah, I've heard about that. I've heard that, some publishers they tell you up front, this cannot be written by AI. We won't accept it.
Yeah. So we're seeing more of that. And people didn't know how to react at first, in the publishing space or what have you. We didn't really know what was happening. We knew it was coming, but we didn't know people were going to be, spitting out memoirs that they didn't actually write, which is kind of weird.
Well, yeah, and okay, so let's talk about that, right? Me personally, I look at it like this. Like, so if I had you write a book for me, you're a ghostwriter. AI is the ghostwriter too. It's just a different form of ghostwriter. I mean, it's not a human ghostwriter, but it's like I'm not actually writing the book,
No, but
right? Or
the robot's not actually interviewing you either.
yeah. Well, I mean, it all depends on the prompt. So, right, because if I get in there and I go into the prompt and I say, like, let's say I tell my story, okay, and I actually write out my stories, but I write it the way I write, which is not a professional writer, right? I'm not you. Like, you're a professional writer. I'm not. But let's say I do, and I write my, third grade level story, and I write it out the way I write, and then I have ChatGPT enhance it and make it better, right? That's not necessarily taking it from off the internet because it's my story, right? So it's my story. It's just enhancing it. Same thing you would if I went in and we talked and we had interviews and you would enhance it, but it's still not the human touch. I almost look at it like you would potentially use AI to kind of get things started, and then use a ghostwriter like yourself to enhance it, to polish it up, to really take it to that next level, to just kind of get the format going. But I don't know. This isn't what I do. So that's why I'm asking you. I'm asking you what I guess people are doing now that these tools have been um, introduced. You know what I mean?
It is. It's absolutely a great tool. I don't ever take away from that for sure. We had to buy it. Rejecting it wasn't going to serve anybody. But I do think it's a great tool. And you're right. You could spend that time writing out your story, but now you're putting way too much credit into a robot that's going to catch your tonality, the emotion behind it. So it's very, I don't know, black and white, where people are gray. We might think we make black and white decisions and that's gray, but we still live in this really gray space of how we feel, how we react to things, our perspective, our emotions, and all of that encompasses us. And AI tools it's not there yet. It might be there one day. But what we find too is a lot of people that use AI for bigger projects spend more time editing the AI piece to make it sound like them. So I do think it's a great tool because a blank page is intimidating, even as someone who's, written books, worked with a lot of authors. It is absolutely intimidating. So use it as a tool, but please don't use it as the answer.
Correct. Yeah, 100%. Like, I think what you said right there is absolutely spot on. It helps you to get the ideation, it helps you to get that format going. It helps you to get it started, but then you need a human. It's not like you said, it's not quite there yet. And even if you go in, and I've done this, I've had the AI copy my brand voice, right? From things that I have written, that is me, right? From things that, um, interviews, transcriptions, right? So like this podcast, we could transcribe it, throw it in Chat GPT, and it could analyze the way I speak, the way my energy and blah, 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 blah. Still not perfect, right? Still not perfect, but it does capture my brand voice, pretty good. It's not perfect though. Like you could have those tools write like like, you could say, "Hey, write the national anthem in the way of Shakespeare." Right? And all of a sudden, it's gonna do that. Or write it the way Donald Trump speaks. It is like, it's gonna do it like it's gonna be like this. Anyway, it's gonna do this. Okay. Anyway, that was a joke.